Today I'm breaking down the 7 levels of young Hollywood actors, but here's a twist. We're not just ranking people on where they are right now, we're zooming in on the exact moment where they were at that level. Because no one just wakes up one day and becomes Zendaya level iconic. There's a path to it. There are very specific phases that almost every young star goes through, so we're going to start all the way from level 1, where we basically know you exist, all the way to level 7, where you're iconic. And we're going to use real people you know. Jenna Ortega, Florence Pugh, Ariana Greenblatt, Sabrina Carpenter, Austin Butler, Joseph Quinn, and Zendaya. That's going to show you how the ladder actually works. This is going to be part pop culture breakdown, part career autopsy, part business acting class. But before we jump in, if you're an actor who's also curious about your specific stage of where you're at in your acting career and want to work to develop it further, please click the link down below in the description or the pinned comment. I'd love to work with you. And if you just love these breakdown style videos, please click the like button so I know that you want to see more of them in the future. All right, let's get started. Level 1 is what I call we're aware you exist. And the best example of this is Sabrina Carpenter in her post-Disney acting era. To be clear, this is before she became full pop girly international diva. It's not the Sabrina we know now with like sold out tours and huge albums and all that. I'm talking about the transitional Sabrina. She's got some Disney roles behind her on her resume, a couple of streaming and young adult roles, and Hollywood quietly asking, so who are you now? At this stage, Sabrina was in a odd identity split. On one hand, she'd been an actor for a long time. She was a legit child star actor. So basically she had experience. But on the other side, she was slowly starting to identify more as a singer. She started building this flirty, clever pop persona that started to overshadow everything else in her career. Audience, she's that pop girl now, but to casting directors, they're still, where do we put you? So that's level 1, visibility without placement. Her transitional roles in Tall Girl and Work It were smart, but they still gave Sabrina from Disney just like slightly older. But here's a fascinating part. She used her music branding to break out of the child actor mold. Her new pop persona is cheeky, bold, flirty, grown. And because of that, if she returns to acting at any point, she most likely won't be put in that Disney gung-ho category. She's reinvented herself. And if level 1 is we see you, but we don't quite know where you fit yet, then level 2 is when the face becomes famous before the name does. And the perfect example is Joseph Quinn at the beginning of his Eddie Munson era. We're talking right after Stranger Things season 4, part 1 dropped. There's edits and memes and shirts, merch, TikToks everywhere, Eddie Munson. But most people were saying, I love Eddie. Who plays him again? Textbook level 2. And the reason people attach to Eddie so hard is because, honestly, his acting's fantastic. Joseph played him unhinged, but with control. Not random chaos, but emotionally controlled chaos. He gave Eddie that perfect blend of outsider energy and vulnerability, all while having this big theatrical bravado and also this sweetness underneath it all. I mean, it was generally great acting. So the audience point of view is, oh my God, I love him. The industry point of view is, oh wow, he did really great. Let's keep an eye on him. But he was still in that fragile stage where the role is still more known than the actor. If you enjoy videos like this that help you understand the business side of acting and how performers cultivate a career, please hit subscribe and the bell. I'd love to have you check out more of my content coming out. Now we move on to level 3. So level 3 is the rising star tier. The moment where an actor just ends up popping up everywhere because the industry has just decided you're going to pop up everywhere now. Ariana Greenblatt hit this right after Barbie. Barbie was like her big mainstream entrance. We saw strong comedic timing, we saw great presence, and we saw emotionally grounded moments in a huge movie blockbuster film. But if she only did Barbie, she might have gotten stuck as just the Barbie kid. What moved her into the rising star category is what happens next. She jumped into doing action movies. She was in 65, and she showed range. She held her own against major A-list stars like Adam Driver. She proved that she can fit into big budget universes, plural. She wasn't just a child actor anymore. She was a young Hollywood actress that the industry wants to watch and build with. So level 3 is, we see your trajectory and you're about to pop off. And speaking of popping off, I'd appreciate it if you hit the hype button down below. It's a new feature on YouTube that lets me share my channel more with people as I continue to grow. So if level 3 is like, oh, she's next, level 4 is, oh, she's here. Level 4 is the bing bang boom breakout moment, and there is no better example than this than Jenna Ortega right after the Wednesday announcement. Because let's be clear, she didn't come out of nowhere. She was in lots of other projects. She was in Jane the Virgin, Stuck in the Middle, a bunch of other horror projects, Scream. Like, she had years of experience, but she just didn't have the project. Then Wednesday hit, and it's this stylized, gothic Tim Burton world that she just fit in like mwah. Her deadpan, her delivery, her lack of blinking, her micro expressions, her dead dance. Everything went nuclear. Overnight, she's got global fame, interviews are trending, immediate brand deals and fashion entertainment deals. Casting directors are scrambling to eat her up and put her in a bunch of projects, and Gen Z's like, oh my god, our goth princess, our new icon. But from an actor POV, Wednesday did not make Jenna Ortega. It just revealed her. She'd been doing the work for years. This is just the moment that it actually showed her up. Level 5 is our Hollywood favorite tier. And Elvis launched Austin Butler right into this tier. Similar to Jenna, before this, he's had tons of experience over the years. He'd been on Disney and Nickelodeon and the CW, all these teenager-oriented things. And he also had a bunch of all middle to smaller roles in projects. He was working as an actor, but he wasn't defining himself quite yet. And then Elvis happens. And this is the kind of role that immediately tests your stamina, your immersion, your emotional depth, your character development, and whether you can carry a giant studio production alone as the sole face. Austin made it very clear that he wants to be that kind of actor. He wants to be the one that immerses himself in these intense roles that he works on for months or years or whatever. He wants to study and transform and have this big performance. And it worked. After Elvis, directors and casting directors saw him as this more prestigious actor than a lot of the teenager-oriented things he'd done before. Fashion saw him as absolute gold for their branding. The awards circuit obviously validated all of those feelings of awesomeness. And casting directors saw him as the actor. And that's what makes level 5 actors special. They're trusted, they're wanted, and they're taken seriously. Actually, I'm curious. Comment down below who you think your rising young actor is right now at this level. I want to see what everyone thinks. Okay, let's move on to level 6, when an actor becomes the emotional anchor for their entire generation. Level 6 actors are the foundation of their generation. Florence Pugh, especially in Midsommar and Little Women, is exactly that. She is technically brilliant. Emotionally, she's absolutely fearless. She's incredibly controlled, and she's able to lead both an indie film and then a blockbuster right next to it. But what makes her fascinating today is this duality. She is extremely serious on screen and extremely relatable off screen. She'll give you award level acting and then go home and be like, I'm gonna go on Instagram Live and put up a cooking video of me chopping some vegetables and just having a good time with a glass of wine. She's just like laughing at herself, being a normal person, and it's great. This high profile and accessible is very popular with Gen Z, so it's like a mwah in the branding department. Fans are gonna think, ooh, she's talented, but like, I'd be best friends with her. And studios are thinking, ooh, she just elevates everything she touches. Absolutely everything. This is why I call level 6 the industry backbone. If you move this player or remove this player somewhere, somehow, the industry dynamics are going to shift quite a bit. And if this kind of breakdown helps you plan your acting career, please hit subscribe and the bell. I'd love to continue making videos like this for you guys. So now we're on to level 7, the rarest of the rare. Level 7 is going to be untouchable icon status. Very few people live here, and Zendaya is one of them. Especially around the convergence of Euphoria plus Dune plus being a fashion icon. She's hitting all the points. What people miss about Zendaya's rise to stardom is how intentional it was. So there was a period where she wasn't working consistently at all, really. And her stylist, La Roche, decided if the roles aren't pushing the narrative forward for us, the fashion will. So she used red carpets as branding moments. Even though she didn't have a project that she's supposed to be promoting or a product that she's trying to show off, she just showed up to events, to red carpets that she can get into because of the level of fame she was at that point, and go, I'm going to use this to make high editorial content. High fashion, editorial storytelling, every single appearance feeling like a headline. She was creating a mythology around herself and how the whole world perceives her. So then the roles caught up. The work aligned with her public persona. Euphoria made her a dramatic force. She won an Emmy for it. Dune then put her into the prestige of the sci-fi genre. Fashion, just untouchable. And then the internet, memes, videos, pictures, just made her iconic. She didn't just rise, she manifested her destiny. It was a trajectory through image, discipline, and strategy. And that's what Level 7 is. It's when your work, your branding, and your cultural relevance all meld into one unique identity. So that's the ladder. Sabrina, visible but unplaced. Joseph Quinn, face famous before name. Ariana Greenblatt, rising star momentum. Jenna Ortega, massive breakout. Austin Butler, Hollywood favorite. Florence Pugh, generational anchor. And Zendaya, the untouchable icon. This isn't gossip. This is the actual architecture of how Hollywood careers evolve. And if you're an actor watching this, please understand you're not behind. You're absolutely not late. You are just on a path. And each phase someone has, even before Sabrina's, has a purpose. And if you want help figuring out what level you're at, what phase you're at in your career, what's the next moves you should be making, what are some career identities you should be forming, click the link in the description and the pinned comment below and we can work together. I'd love to help you grow with strategy instead of chaos. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah!